It is currently 1 a.m. I cannot fall asleep. Did I spit? Whatever. I took a pill of melatonin, I don't know, and it does not work. There is no effect at all. And I might know the reason why I can't fall asleep. And this video is more so for myself because for the past few weeks, these thoughts are preventing me from having a peaceful night of sleep. It's thoughts about being cringy. I know it doesn't sound that serious, but trust me, when you think about it all the time, it is kind of serious. I'll try to finish one of my paintings that have been just laying around for literally more than 6 months. And I have never found a better time to finish it than now. It's this mustardy yellow monstrosity that I am very much so proud of because this is just one of my favorite colors. Anyways, Ussel, you are making this thing so much more complicated than it actually is. You got to the point of thinking that everything is cringe. And maybe cringe might not be the best word to describe it, but I guess just feeling embarrassed or feeling ashamed of, or just being too self-aware of what's going on and always thinking of yourself as if someone else is looking at you rather than you just being in the moment doing whatever you want to do. You keep thinking that whatever you're doing is not cool or embarrassing or not funny or just kind of lame. I sound like a millennial. I am almost a millennial. So you have to understand that life is given only once. You are currently thinking of yourself like some sort of a X Factor contestant that's in front of a panel of judges that are there to tell you what you're doing wrong, where you need some sort of improvement. Whenever they can even laugh at you, giggle at you, or whatever. When in actuality, no one cares. I promise you this. No one cares. No one thinks of you as much as you think of yourself. No one thinks of you as much as you do. I know it's not that actually hard to grasp. This idea is not some sort of, a huge discovery that you found out. No, this idea has been there for forever. And it's so easy to say, but it's so hard to actually understand. And I am saying this for you to know. No one cares. Not a single person except you thinks of the tiniest things that you're worried about. Not a single person out there thinking like, oh, he smiled weirdly. Oh, like, why is he looking at me like that? Oh, like, whatever he did was not cool. Oh, his video was a little weird. You need to stop because this is affecting you negatively. These are not jokes, okay? Because it's having a toll on you. And I hate the fact that sometimes not only I have to think twice of the stuff that I already do, I have to think 3 times, 4 times, 5 times about the same tiniest thing, the most tiniest little particle that no one is ever going to recollect of. And you are worried about that. You're spending and wasting your precious neurons on that. Like, make it make sense because it just does not. I just want you to realize that maybe you are not aware, but you do have some accomplishments. Just be proud of them. And you got there without thinking that you were cringy. And you got there without always rehashing or overthinking the same conversations over and over again because you just simply would just go insane. No one would operate the way they operate if they would act like this all day long. So I don't know why you got into this era of you just being super hyper self aware, but you need to stop. This is not working out for you. Like, tell me why you were in bed 3 hours ago. You were in bed 3 hours ago. You purposefully turned off your phone because you wanted to fall asleep, and you were sleepy. It's not like you were not sleepy, you were sleepy. But why you were spending those 3 precious hours that could have been part of your 8 hour sleep on rehashing, rethinking the same conversation over and over again, coming to a different conclusion every single time? It does not make sense. Whatever happened, it already happened. Okay, you cannot fix, you cannot go back, you're not a time traveler. You don't have abilities to change the past. And even if you had, I assure you, if you had that option, you would not do it once, you would not do it twice, you would not do it 3 times, you would do it over and over again. That sounds like a really good plot for a movie. Get it over with. There are people who are saving lives. There are people who are having surgeries every single day. There are people who are flying to space. There are people who are like top athletes. What are you so worried of? Why are you worried of some stupid conversation you had in that damn elevator for like 6 hours? That lady does not remember you. She doesn't remember your existence. I can guarantee you she probably has like 3 kids. She's thinking of her bills, she's thinking of her food, she's thinking of her tax, the same way that you do. The same way that you spend your time worrying about your bills, your rent, your job, your all of this. That's the same way other people do. No one is out there thinking, oh my god, what is Asal thinking of me for 8 hours a day? They have their own problems. They definitely have their own issues. They have their own happy moments. They have their own families. They have their own different people in life. No one really cares about you. They only care about you when you're physically with them. And even that is not guaranteed. I really hope that you're going to see that this is stopping you from pretty much doing anything, not even success in terms of like a monetary or some sort of a physical, thing. It is stopping you from having some sort of a mental stability. It is stopping you from living life in the present moment. It is stopping you from just having fun, having good old fun. It is stopping you even from that. It is stopping you from having good old conversations because midway through a conversation, you're already thinking about the previous sentence that you said, or 2 sentences ago, or 3 sentences ago. Like, why you're thinking of that in the moment. You're just having fun. You're just having a conversation. No one's going to recall what you said 7 times. I remember today what inspired you to think about this, even though you think about this often. But think about it in a different way. You saw kids having fun, and then you just remembered your childhood, and then you were touched. You were genuinely touched, and you just remembered those times when you felt happy in the moment. You felt so happy in the moment that you didn't even realize that you were happy in the moment. You were just laughing, you were just jumping, you were just having fun. And I applaud you for that. You took a moment to understand that sometimes you having fun does not equal cringy. The cringy thing, it's in your head, literally. It's this tumor looking, Squidward looking like substance that's just sitting in your head like a parasite, infecting your brain and infecting the way you think. But actually, it does not exist. It does not exist in real life. It's something imaginary. And even if someone else is going to say that whatever you're doing is cringy, it says more about them than it does say about you. Okay, as long as you're doing nothing illegal, nothing outrageous, you just exist, right? You're just doing you. Then it's their problem, it's not yours. So don't think of what other people think. Think about yourself first. So what I want you to do tomorrow, when you're going to get yourself a cup of cappuccino or whatever, you just walk down the street, you listen to your music, and then you just be in the moment. Okay? Don't disassociate it. Don't think of anything else. Don't think of how you look like. Just have good old excuse me. Just walk down the street. Please. Feel the music. Feel the beats. Feel the wind. Feel the sun. Absorb the sunshines. Smile. Smile at strangers. Have fun. You don't even have to have fun. Just be happy that you are alive. Be happy that you get to buy that cup of coffee and start your day in this amazing way. Not a lot of people get to do that, and sometimes you just don't even realize it. So be grateful, be mindful, and be demure. I hate it. Okay, I hate it. I'm sorry. So let's repeat with me again. Cringe does not exist. It does not exist. It's an imaginary thing. It's a villainous imaginary thing. It is there to test you, okay? You don't want to fail that test. You don't want to fail that test, okay? You want to be you. You don't want to be embarrassed of you. You should do what you like. You should be who you are. Don't try to act cool. Act hustle. Act you. Okay? I'm really trying to convince myself, y'all. I am really doing my best. And I feel like it is working. Sometimes I just need to really have a conversation with myself, and this is just one of those times. This time I just did it on camera, but this is how it typically goes. Do you think Albert Einstein was worried about what some sort of Joe was thinking of him while walking down the street? No. No. I can guarantee you Albert Einstein probably had his brains busy with something else, okay? He was not worried about any of that. He was not worried about how he looks or what he does or how he acts. At least I think so. At least that's my impression. I don't know him personally. I don't think anyone knows him personally. While I was laying in bed, just staring at the ceiling, I was thinking of the fact that you were kind of always this way. You were always kind of super aware of yourself. But it's just, I don't think this feeling was this strong ever in your life like it is now. I feel like you would think this would be a huge thing during maybe your teenage years. But even rethinking my teenage years, I wasn't this hyper aware of every single thing, every single word that's coming out of my mouth, every single action I do, every single movement, every single just the way I show myself. I was never this hyper aware, so I don't really know what it is. And I actually don't even want to go deep into that because I don't know. Like, I'm okay with the way it is now. I just want you to get better. I just want you to go on a better path and realize again that this is all just in your head. None of it exists. Saying it out loud makes it so much better. None of it exists. And I am proud of you for actually doing something towards it. I know a month or a few months ago, you really tried to get out of your comfort zone, to take your camera and not be super scared to film in public. I know this was really hard for you. Like, I know that because you was me, so I know that. But you did it despite the fact that you thought that everyone's staring at you, everyone's giving you side eyes. And maybe partially it's true, but most of the time people just looked at you. They didn't stare at you, they didn't do anything. They didn't hit you, they didn't do anything crazy. They looked at you because it's just when 99 people in the room just stand and there's this one guy who's walking around with a camera, naturally someone will just look at it. I know you see those TikTokers on subway or like on the street doing their dances, and sometimes you just look at it because they're just dancing on the street. I don't think it's that confusing. So why are you so worried about eyes and you get red and you're having this like inner like cringe moment, but you should not. You should just do whatever you want to do. If you want to film, as long as you don't bother anyone, just film. Just film and then get over with it. Because I know that when you don't, you start you start overthinking, you start rehashing this moment, and you start regretting things. And that is the worst feeling. I hate that feeling so much. I don't want to have that feeling ever again in my life, but unfortunately, sometimes it's just unavoidable. That's a whole different discussion, but for now, please, please, just do whatever you want to do. You have free will. Sometimes you really forget that. You want to take that camera and film, you do that. You want to buy that ice cream and eat in the subway, you do that even though everyone's going to stare at you. You want to take those baby carrots and hummus dip and eat it in the park, just do it. No one cares. No one truly cares. Okay, everyone's worried about themselves. I am sorry, y'all. Sometimes my thoughts are so scattered and there is no organization to them whatsoever. So if you thought this was a little bit too messy or a little bit too unorganized, you are correct. Again, I cannot paint, I cannot draw. This is just hobby, okay? So don't judge harshly if you see this. But ta-da! Like if you look from afar, it's not that bad, but it's just when you look close. Ugh. Anyways, stay safe and be true to yourself. Bye bye.